All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, greenwoodstocktrading at Gmail, and the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. All right, man, let's talk about the fight last night with Ortiz and Hooker. Check out the fight reaction playlist. Appreciate the love, support. Papaya the shit, man. Papaya, man. Go with tequila. Go with anything. Probably be alright if you mix some dark in it, but let's talk about it. Obviously, I think Ortiz stopped him in the 7th, dropped him in the 6th. Jose Ramirez stopped him in the 6th. All right. And he was giving Ortiz all types of problems. I just got up, so I'm still getting together. He's getting Ortiz all types of problems. And problem with Hooker is he just ain't good enough. That's a problem. He ain't elite in no category but length and height. He don't have a lot of punching power. His feet ain't good. His defense ain't good, but last night he performed better than Ramirez fighting, what he should have been doing. Let's talk about what he did. What he did was he found out once he put punches together, Vergil Ortiz is one of those dudes that freeze. He put punches together, and he freeze, and then sometimes he'll step over, make Ortiz reset. Sometimes he'll sit there with Ortiz and stand in front of him, and he set off the ropes, but he should have been, stepping over a lot more, making Ortiz reset a lot. But he did put some work into the body. Ortiz didn't like the body work. He did some things, man, you got to give credit to. Yeah, he did some things you got to give credit to. He went to the body, put his punches together. But he couldn't get Ortiz. He hurt Ortiz. He hurt Ortiz a couple times. Not to the point where he almost took a knee, but he hurt Ortiz a couple times. And, he touched him to the body. And what really got Ortiz was those body shots. You notice when Hooker started punching to the body, then Ortiz started going to his body. But Hooker left hook was good last night. Made Ortiz pick his backhand up. He just ain't good enough. That's basically what it is, man. And you look at Thomas Hearns would have probably knocked Ortiz out in a matter of, matter of 3 or 4 or 5 rounds. But Hooker ain't no Ortiz. Hooker more of the Paul Williams variety. He was a lot more disciplined than Paul Williams, but the biggest difference between him and Paul Williams was Paul Williams can take a punch, at the welterweight division and keep trucking. Paul Williams wasn't using his height. Paul Williams was just a volume puncher. High stamina, volume puncher to the head. And Hooker, he just couldn't have the pressure that Paul Williams brought. He didn't have the boxing ability that Thomas Hearns had, or the power that Thomas Hearns had, or the leverage that he get on his shots. For Hooker was missing was power, and he wasn't pushing Ortiz back. Somebody said if he push Ortiz back, he's gonna get knocked out early. If he stand in front of Ortiz, he get knocked out anyway. He should have been pushing Ortiz back, and how you push him back was his jab he had a good jab, but it wasn't good enough. He had that piston-like jab. He should have been throwing a power jab between that guard and mixing with the piston jab, but power jab, touch the body, and keep pushing Ortiz back. Ortiz was strong last night, but he was starting to slow down. I was on the phone with Lion Killer. Check his channel out, Lion Killer Podcast. He was starting to slow down. But Hooker just didn't execute the way he could have been. He should have been. That's to Ortiz, for putting the body work in, catching Hooker trying to exchange with him. And what Hooker should have been doing was varying the jab, power jab, double jab, piston-like jab, and stepping over and using angles or pushing Ortiz back. But Ortiz did some good work in there tonight too as well. You got to give credit to him. He started off a little slow. I thought it was way more competitive from round 1 to round 5. Ortiz put something to the body, but Ortiz, Ortiz a sucker for that left hook. Even when he picked him, even though when he picked his left hand, picked his back hand up, his right hand up, Hooker was landing that left hook across his face. But to me, he didn't really impress me. Like like when you see Ennis, you see he's special. With Ortiz, he got good hand speed, footwork. It's okay, but when you see with him, good body puncher, strong guy. But what happens when you get to a guy that can take your punch? He not a big puncher. He not a huge puncher. He not Julian Jackson. He not even Keith Thurman type of puncher. He kind of give you that Errol Spence punch, that Errol Spence kind of puncher. Maybe Carlos Baltimore, Errol Spence. Trying to think of some other welterweights that kind of maybe remind me of him. But you could tell, he hit Ortiz. Ortiz hit him with some good shots, no doubt. And Ortiz is a good fighter. He's gonna be world champion if he wait his turn. He'd be 23 March 25th, a few days. But it's a lot of flaws. Get hit too much. He in the high guard. Ortiz, look at his face. Jose Ramirez's face didn't look like that. Ortiz's face looked, was all like he had bad acne across his face. And that was from Hooker. He took a lot of shots he shouldn't have took. A lot of those shots, people want to compare him being the right-handed Errol Spence. A lot of them shots Errol Spence wouldn't have took. Just speaking facts. A lot of shots he shouldn't have took. He not a pressure fighter at all. He not one of those in-your-face pressure fighters, Chavez, Duran. He one of them dudes that's going to keep you at the end of his shots, throw a lot of punches. He going to try to, he a different type of pressure fighter. Kind of give you Kovalev before Buddy McGirt, but he not the puncher that Kovalev is. But like I said before, he would have been in there with somebody that can punch. He would have had a problem. He would have had a problem. And then he was starting to slow down. When you look about fighting Ortiz, he gonna get better too. The book is body shots. Body shots in the first few rounds, he gonna slow down. And it's there. I mean, it's hard not to hit the face. He wide open for a shot, But we'll see what Ennis do. Was it next month? But he nowhere near Ennis from what I've seen. Ennis is special. Ennis, you can see it, and maybe, catching, maybe Ennis can't take him on the chops, who knows? But you look at Ennis, and he didn't stop some dudes bigger than him. Ennis is by far the more impressive fighter, and that may not be the case a year or 2, 4, 5, 6 years down the line. But Ennis' defense is a lot better. Ennis' hand speed is a lot better, and I think Ennis is a better puncher. I look at Ortiz, just look like hittable. Hittable. Very, very hittable. You can throw the Kenshin sink and you shouldn't miss. Hittable. Very hittable. But, he did a good job last night. Definitely be world champion if he wait his turn. But, maybe people talking about Kavaliauskas, Avarizian, maybe even Sean Porter, Rashidi Ellis. But you gotta remember, it's like Hooker's second fight, something like that at welterweight. Or this is his first fight at full 47. But yeah, maybe somebody maybe he can entice Amir Khan to fight. Jamal James. But like I said before, he didn't impress me last night. A lot of people gonna get mad. He didn't. Maybe a guy like Custio Clayton. But he right behind Sean Porter for number 1 in WBO. So, if Sean Porter say no and Ortiz say yes, they gotta make that fight. You gotta make that fight. And you fight a guy like Bud, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, you're gonna lose. He take too many shots. Those fighters is just gonna. Errol Spence fight the same style, just a southpaw, but need some more time. About 2 or 3 more years. I don't say 2 or 3 more years. I'm gonna say about another year, 2 years and a half, and I think he'd be ready. But I wouldn't worry if I'm him. I wouldn't worry about the Ugases, the Errol Spences, the Crawfords, the Pacquiaos, the Danny Garcia or Danny moving up. The Keith Thurmans, I wouldn't worry about them. I play my role. And by the time, they start to vacate and move up, then I worry about the Ennises. I worry about, the Conor Benns, the Qdobas, the Josh Taylors, the Jose Ramirez, they train the same. When Zepeda move up, when Lopez move up, when Haney move up, Ellis, I worry about that because he got his own potential super fight with Ennis. So of course you want to knock, the Sean Porters, the Keith Thurmans out, but for what? People gonna say they old. But for him, the one guy I would tell him to stay away from is probably Crawford. Crawford and Spence. No. For what? Motherfuckers don't fight each other. But maybe you can get Spencer Crawford. Who knows? Maybe hit Crawford one of them body shots and break his hand or something like that. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Still good performance by Ortiz. Just think he need a little bit more season. He get better though. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. All my social media links, subscription. Fast way reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. All links, subscription. Facebook group link there as well too. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Appreciate the love and support. One time. Peace.